Hey, this is Mr. Roche. We're working on, I guess, the second part of this assignment. Our assignment where we're trying to get best case, worst case, and average case numbers to kind of run through our sorter. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to like right now what we're doing is we're generating just a bunch of random numbers, which seems to be like the average case. What I want to do is generate a best case where everything was sort of already sorted, and see if that's different. It probably shouldn't be. And then generate a worst case where everything's like backwards and we have to kind of resort things like that. That would be kind of a worst case generally, okay? But what we do right now is we just make this one random one, we sort it, and then we print it out, okay? So what I want to do is have an ability to kind of have three different cases if we want, okay? So I'm going to go like this. This is another thing to do is I'm going to make these sort of final kind of literals that I can use instead of numbers, or like, you know, it's a way to kind of like code things so people can understand them better. So I'm going to go like this and say public static final, okay, and this is a final variable. Final means non-changeable. Static means there's kind of only one copy, and I'm kind of stuck with static. Like generally you don't have to use static with everything, but public static void is special because there can only be like one main. So they make this static, which means that you can only have like kind of one copy of it running. So we're going to have public static final int, and because of this, I have to make this over here. Like everything static, like things that relate to static things have to be static, basically. So I'm going to make this one thing called best case. And in this, what you do is you just pick like a number, like I'll pick 0. I'm going to make another one, public static final int, like worst case. Okay, and that's going to be 0. And, oh, not 0, it's going to be like 1 or something like that. I got to pick another number. It can be like any number you want, though, that's the thing. And I can say public static final int average case. And that might equal like 2, okay, which seems kind of average. Okay, and so there they are. So these are sort of like literals that help you manage your use English for coding, so that you can your code makes sense when you read it. That's the point of this, and people do this a lot. Okay, so what I want to do then is I want to have a thing here that I can change the case. So I'm going to go like this and say int what case, okay, and I'm going to set it right now to the average case. Okay, so everybody knows what that is. That's the thing. It's better than saying like 2. Do you see what I'm saying? So what we're going to do then is we're going to do different things, and you can write these in an if-then kind of construction, but I'm going to show you something else. There's this thing called a switch, a case switch, that we can use because there's like 3 things, and rather than having these like 3 if-then statements, I can make a kind of a case. So you use this like in this way. I think you write the word switch, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to switch on what case. So we're going to look at what case, and whatever it is, we're going to do stuff. And that's going to set us up a, a scenario where we can just kind of pick the cases that we want. Okay, and then we just kind of come up with our cases. And what we do is go like this. You say case, and this is like, we're already in integer numbers, so we're going to go like case 0, right? And then something's going to happen, right? And then we're going to say, that should be over here. Go like this. Okay. Case 1, right? That's what we have right now. And then we're going to say case 2. Okay, and then you can do this too. You can include like a default. So no matter what happens, it doesn't like die. Okay, and in our case, the default should be basically it's going to be we could say what case equals average case no matter what, and we could do the average case thing. Okay, but what we do for case 0, or for case 0, what we're going to do is we're going to write a loop basically that's going to run from it's going to run from 0 to up to where we need to go, right? So we'll do that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this loop, okay, and I'm going to move this up here and make a change to it. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go maybe for 1 to how many less than or equal to how many. Then I'm just going to say numList instead of all this stuff. I'm just going to say numList is going to equal I. So it's going to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to where I have to go. Okay. And then for the random number case, I'm just going to cut this and put this right in here. Case 1. Okay. So this is like I'll put a comment on this. We'll say best case, increasing numbers. Okay, so we know what's going on. Number is. Okay, I'm going to say, OP, this is like the worst case. Sorry, I got to move this down here. So I'm going to cut that and put it in here. Okay, so this is like the worst case. And this is why it's good to okay, and then what we can do is we can just kind of rewrite this loop. What did I do here? Oh, I forgot that. Okay, and I'm going to rewrite this loop and go here and say 4, and I'm going to rewrite my loop. Okay, so I'm going to start at how many. And you could start someplace else. Like I dare you to like do one from a random number, right? And then go down to equals 1 or something like that, and then do minus I, and then just have it be I. So it's going to go decreasing, right? And then this one's going to be the random case. Okay, we're going to say that for right now. And then the default here is the random case, so we should just do this again too. Okay, and just do that again. Okay, I mean we could put this in, we could put these in subroutines for sure, or methods or whatever, but this will work. Okay, so then that gives us this. So if I run this right now, okay, let's run this for just like 100 numbers or something like that, or like 10 numbers. Okay, let's do that. Let's try 100 numbers, and if I run it right now, it should just operate like the random. It should operate in the random case, like the average case right now, because we have it set to that. Okay, so there's my list. Okay, it looks like it's sorted them. Wow, it's like less than 2.2. We have to kind of fix that if it's super slow. Okay, but we do have like 20,000 nanoseconds, right? Let's go for 10 numbers. Let me just look at that real quick. Okay, yeah, it's really, really short. This is like no seconds at all, right? But it sorts, hooray. But this is like our unsorted list, right? And it's the average case, right? Let's try best case now. So I just changed this, and then I got a re out of bounds exception. So I got to go my best case. Let me see here. This is my best case. I go. I started at 1. I have to do this. Let's do this -1. Okay. And I have to see what I have to do here. Oh yeah, we have to fix this too. But let's work on that. Okay, so let's do the best case right now. Oop. Okay, so anyway, looking at this, we could actually make this loop look more like the old loops and do this, right? Fix it this way and go like this +1. That'll work. Okay. Another thing I got to do here is I got to include a thing called a break. Okay. And I want to do this for each of my cases. Break. And then I want to do this. Say break. I don't actually think I need to do it on the default, but I can do it anyway. Okay, like that. And then let's try to run it for the best case right now. see if it's happy. There you go. Okay, so it's got a list of 10. It does this. It's nanoseconds like are 12,000, and let's do like average. Let's compare best versus average. So it's like 12,000 versus 15. Okay, something like that. And then, but this is just for like 10 numbers. And then what we want to do is do a decreasing number too. So we could start from how many down to well, it's greater than 0. Okay, we'll do that. And then what we actually want to do is we want to do list I minus, I think, how many. Let me try that. Okay. The decreasing one, I think you start with I equals how many. You go to 0. You are going to go minus minus I so that how many gets less and less and less. And I think you want to say here, you want to say how many minus I, because I is going to start at how many, so it's going to be 0, then this is going to be how many minus 1, like that. Okay, and then I think this will work. So let's try this. Okay, so you know, so that's what I want to see. I guess I want to see your runs for best time for these things, best, worst, and average case. Okay, we'll just start trying to compare them. Okay, so that's what I want to see for tonight. Okay, and thanks, and I'll see you later.